What's going on, y'all? I wanted to jump on real quick just to give y'all an update, tap in with y'all. For those of you who still care, I gotta say that because I know nobody owes me a subscribership. And I really did just disappear, and came back a couple times just to, I guess, give update videos. It's like my third update video, just to kind of keep y'all in the loop, just to see if, just to really just check in and see if y'all are still out there. You know what I'm saying? This internet thing is crazy. And I, for one, have still really not gotten used to the power of the internet and how you can build relationships and attachments to people and not even never really meet them in person. So like I was saying, I've came back and made a couple update videos over the last few months or so, which really ain't nowhere near good enough for somebody to consider themselves a content creator or a YouTuber. But nonetheless, I felt like I had to tap in with y'all, just like I gotta tap in with y'all today. But this time, I want to give some clarity to a few things, and I also want to give y'all some news. And hopefully y'all will bear with me and stick around to the end of this video, and hopefully the news that I have for y'all will be considered good news by you. First, I want to tell y'all that I mentioned, or I hinted at a few things in my last update videos. I told y'all that I had things going on within my family that I needed to take care of, but I also told you that there was things that, I was dealing with personally that I needed to get straightened out. And the things that I didn't really speak on for real are the things that I want to address today. The first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that I've pretty much struggled with monetization of what I've done on YouTube pretty, early on, fairly quickly after I got monetized. And I started making videos that I really considered like purpose work, or like my version of social work, I guess you can say. I struggled with making money on those videos, and I went full time doing those videos. And of course, when you go full time doing something, then you have a wife and kids, you got to make money. So I started needing the income, but at the same time, there was an internal battle that I was dealing with because, like I said, I don't feel like I'm somebody that's all that special. And yes, it was a goal to get monetized when I first started this YouTube channel off, but my channel morphed into something that I really wasn't expecting. And I've went through some different phases on this channel. When I first started, I was in the middle of a heated custody battle for my two oldest kids. Their mom was actively trying to destroy my life, and I was dealing with some things, and I started making videos as a way of I guess, spreading awareness, and also trying to, I guess, just vent and, use this platform as my own version of therapy, I guess you could say. And so yeah, I started out making videos that were the subject was me being a father. Early on, I had a few vlogs where it was me and my kids, just doing things where, taking my daughter to the park, or, going out to eat with my kids as a single father, or I would give updates on the custody battle that I was going through, just day in the life vlogs, all that kind of stuff. And that's when I, with me knowing that those are the kind of videos that I was going to be making, that's what made me name it the Shumake Way. Because it was just going to be me showing the world that a man from the background that I come from, that grew up without a father, is going to fight and do everything in his power to make sure that he's there for his kids no matter what I'm up against. That was really the whole point of this channel, And like I said, at the same time, I wanted to build community, and certain things that I was going through was my form of venting, and that's where I got my first few subscribers. As time went on, I realized that building a channel, building a brand based on traumatic events, personal events like that, events that were causing me to struggle with being a man that's slow to anger, and a man that is is able to keep his integrity. I was struggling really bad back then. But so at some point I woke up and I started really putting my faith in God, and I stopped trying to, win the battle. And I gave the battle to God. And lo and behold, I ended up winning my custody battle, and I walked away with 50-50 custody of my kids, and we got on a parenting plan, and I wasn't able to be drugged through the mud anymore, and all of those things. So I got into a way better mental space, and after that I was like, it's not healthy for me to continue to make this kind of content. I want to be a light. I want to be positive. So I started being more positive. I started making videos where I was talking about how I overcame the struggles that I was going through. Then I really started focusing on my spiritual walk, and I went through the weeds and stuff like that when it come to that, because I was taught some things that weren't biblically sound in those days, and I repented of that, and I removed all those videos a long time ago. And then once I really started diving into who God really is, and I really started following Jesus like I should have been all along, that's when I started pivoting away from what I was doing at that time. You know what I'm saying? And again, my heart has always been for people. No matter what the twist and turn was, my heart was always wanting to make content that would identify with people that were struggling, people that was going through different real life events. And I wanted to connect with people and put my story out there, kind of like just being a servant and showing people that they're not alone and that they can be strong. And it's always been one of my characteristics is to be strong and be resilient. I've never allowed anything to really keep me down for too long. And because of the mistakes I've made, I gained a lot of wisdom. So I started just sharing that. And again, the stronger my walk with God got, and the more I learned about God, and the more I realized about this relationship I had with him all along, by the way, I just felt led to share that. And then long story short, I started struggling again with the whole idea of monetizing my walk with God. It went from me struggling with monetizing in general, because I guess it was like what they call it, imposter syndrome for one. But then I also saw that like my walk with God is sincere, it's true. And I'm not like some of these other people that are Christian for pay. I really do have a relationship with God, and it really is the most important thing to me. So being that I saw so many other people coming online, and like people turn Christian and they'll automatically start making videos, which some of it is just them being excited about their walk. They found God and they're saved and they're excited, and they just want to share. Ain't nothing wrong with that, unless you're sharing things that aren't biblically sound. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people that kind of just caught on to the wave of, oh, if you say you're a Christian now, you can get views. So let me go ahead and start making these videos. And then you will see them start to fall away slowly but surely. Start seeing people just, oh, I'm a Christian. Next thing you know, I ain't a Christian no more. Somebody that had millions of subscribers, big YouTube channels. I think he had multiple channels. He started actually debating people and doing Bible studies, and he's breaking down doctrine and trying to present himself as a theologian, and he got a lot of people to start turning their lives over to God and wanting a relationship with God. And next thing you know, he come out the woodwork with, oh, it's not true. I was a fool for believing in God. And now he's like completely against religion. He's completely against God now. He's saying that God don't exist now. And not only that, I would see people that in the name of being a Christian, just online making videos where all they do is bash people. They bash Christians for not being perfect. They bash people in the world because they're not Christian. They just super legalistic, and they putting themselves on this pedestal like they're the perfect Christian. And if you don't serve the way they serve or believe the way they believe, or if you haven't gotten to a certain level of spiritual maturity as they have, there's something wrong with you, and you need to be called out, and you need to be publicly tarred and feathered. And in my opinion, they wasn't really acting like Christians. And to be honest with you, I had to check myself, because I found myself doing some things that I'm not proud of. I started making, and I mentioned this in one of my last videos. You remember the update videos I told you about? I mentioned that I had started making content that I didn't like that I was making. I wasn't comfortable with it, and I went and deleted those videos. My channel had become pretty much a reaction channel, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was going through things personally, and it was hard for me to be able to make videos where I'm talking about the things that were really true and near and true to my heart when I was struggling. So it was much easier for me to look at a viral event that was going on and let me just make a video about this, because I need to put a video out, and then let me just talk about it from a biblical lens, as far as like highlighting what the Bible says about what Diddy is doing. Or I wasn't on YouTube when this situation happened, but with the Shannon Sharp situation, I would have, if I had been in that same mind state as I was back then, no doubt I would have clipped that video, or you know, talked about the stuff that was going on with him, and I would have related it back to the Bible, and I would have talked about how if you're a man that is you know, full of lust and all of that stuff like that, you know, you need to do this and you need to do that, and you know, it would have been true, you know, but it would have had no, it wouldn't have been from the heart. It wouldn't have been love filled. It wouldn't have been, you know, with me having compassion or empathy for people that do struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't start this channel to just make videos that I don't necessarily care about just so that I can get a check every month. Don't get me wrong, if it's a check to be made, I want it, but I want to keep my integrity. You know, I want to be who I am, who God made me. I don't want to compromise who I am for income. So luckily, I decided to go back to driving trucks, which is what I did before I went full time on YouTube. Went back to what I had made a good living from before I decided that I wanted to be a full-time content creator. And that got me to a place where, like in the beginning, I was able to just do things based on the fact that my heart was in the right place, because my bills are taken care of. It was easy for me to be a person of integrity when I didn't rely, when I didn't rely on the income. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a person, by the way, let me say this, if you're a person that aspires to be a YouTuber, the best advice I can give you is, unless it's somewhere it's just purely meant for entertainment or something like that, don't get into it with the thought of money being on the front of your mind, because it will cause you to compromise who you are if you're not careful. And a lot of people, I guess this is why a lot of people that's rich and famous, or like big time influencers and stuff like that, this is why a lot of them struggle with depression and suicidal ideation, because they create a life that they can't stand, because they're not strong enough to say, no, I done went too far down the rabbit hole and I need to turn around. I need to stop this, because they got so many bills and so many people depending on them that they can't stop. They can't turn around and say, no, I gotta course correct. You know what I'm saying? And my heart goes out to those people. I wish they would just be willing to let their channel die before they let their soul die. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing why I can say I'm grateful that I do have a strong enough relationship with God that I was able to see the error in my ways, and I was able to pull back and stop completely. I took over a year off of YouTube to just get my mind right, to put things in the proper perspective, to get my mental health all the way back to where it needed to be, to make sure that I had my family on the front of my mind and not survival and needing to put a video out today because I gotta make sure that I keep my numbers up so that I can get paid. You know what I'm saying? Now it's me just making sure that I'm a present husband, a present father, and I'm loving them well and doing what God actually wants me to do. I can focus on that, on my life, doing it the way I've been doing it. that being said, I still love YouTube. I still love the community that I built. I built a connection with quite a few of y'all. Just as happy as you were to see me pop up on YouTube, whether I'm live or I got a video that premiered, just as happy as you was to see me put out a new video, I was happy to talk to y'all, to be in the comments with y'all, to receive emails and DMs, and when I'm live, respond back to y'all comments. And I was happy to do all of that. I missed y'all. I missed it. You know what I'm saying? I miss creating. You know what I'm saying? By the way, let me just say this. The videos that I was making, it wasn't like they were heretical type of videos, or I was sowing dissension or anything like that. It's just that I really feel like I wasn't operating in my calling all the way. I had found a bit of a gray area that I honestly don't believe God wanted me to operate in. But I was doing it because I felt like I had to. Because I felt like I had to take care of my family. And to be honest with you, for a period of time, I thought I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. But I was always praying, asking God, Lord, if I'm not supposed to be doing this, if I'm not supposed to be making these type of videos, Lord, let me know. Please let me know. I put videos out. They don't do that well. Instead of me taking it as a sign, like, you know what? Maybe that's the sign that God is telling me, don't make that kind of video. But the human side of me, the problem solving side of me said, no, you need to keep making them videos. You just need to figure out what you did wrong so that it really will reach more people. Maybe your thumbnail was off. Maybe your description was off. Maybe you're not saying the right thing in the first beginning of the video to make audience retention stay, solid, and people don't just drop off after a certain period of time. I was thinking like a YouTuber. There's people that teach YouTube and they really know what they're talking about. I had been watching videos like that for quite a while before I ever picked up a camera, and I learned the tricks of the trade when it comes to building a YouTube channel and building an audience. So instead of me being obedient to God and hearing his voice the way I should have been, being obedient to his voice, I thought, no, that ain't God telling you that you need to stop making them videos. That's the algorithm. You got to figure out how to put yourself back in the algorithm. And I'm human, y'all. So in life is very complex. So have grace for me. It was never my goal to dupe anybody or anything like that. I don't feel like I duped anybody. I feel like I was making videos that people could actually glean from. I just feel that personally, God didn't necessarily want me operating in that space. There's people that know a lot more about the Bible than I do. And I should have been directing y'all to them, and I did some of that. I just wasn't doing it enough. And again, I think a lot of it is I'm hard on myself. I'm probably a lot harder on myself than I should be, actually. But the reason for that is I really want to be pleasing to God, and the fear of doing anything that is disobedient to him is really strong in me. So I hold myself to quite a high standard, and I'm constantly praying for God to show me what I need to do to be pleasing in his sight. I know I'm already saved. I know what it takes to be saved. I believe in Jesus. I believe what he did on the cross was for our sins. I believe that he rose from the dead. I believe that if you believe in him and what he did on the cross, then you are saved. I know I'm saved because I believe in that 100%. But I have this strong need to be pleasing to the Father, because I'm a people pleaser, to be honest with you. Going through therapy, I figured out that that's something that comes from the father wound that I have with my earthly father. I have things that I didn't even really realize were alive and well until I got into therapy and I really started focusing on mental health. I realized that I am a people pleaser. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if you allow people to misuse you and abuse you. But when it comes to me wanting to be of service and be pleasing to God, sometimes I'm too hard on myself because I really want to be pleasing in his sight and I really want to serve well. And I look to God to constantly reassure me that I'm doing the right thing. And if I feel like I don't hear his voice and he tells me, hey, yeah, you're doing the right thing, a lot of the times I kind of get in this space where it's like I feel lost because I can't hear his voice. And then I start thinking, well, what have you been doing that's sinful? Have you been sinning? You been lying? Have you been, you know what I'm saying? I start overanalyzing myself and all of that. And then, like I said, I just have to stay in the Bible and remind myself that I'm doing too much. So, long story short, I wanted to just jump on and make a update video where I was able to really uncover some things about myself that y'all didn't know I struggled with. Some things that I've been working out in therapy, that I have worked out in therapy. Some things that I really have realized about life, about my life, about my wife, about my children, about the legacy that we will leave. I've realized some things about what I was doing here on YouTube, and it's brought me to a pivot. And the last thing I'm gonna touch on is this. Some time back, because of all of the things, well, let's put it like this. The closer I got to God, the more I read my Bible, the more I fell in love with Jesus, the more my YouTube name bothered me. And again, a lot of y'all probably gonna be thinking, man, what's wrong with your name? You doing too much. But it was a personal conviction of mine. The name, the Shumake Way. As I told you in the beginning, when I named this channel, it was supposed to be about me navigating the world as a single father with 50-50 custody of his kids, and just trying to be the father that I never had growing up. It was supposed to be about, when I named the channel that, it was like a empowerment thing, a self-empowerment thing. It was me taking my last name and, focusing on my children and me focusing on showing the journey of what it's like to be a present father and reframe all of the pain and heartbreak and all that, the abandonment issues and all that stuff that I had. It was about me reframing all of that and showing strength by making change. That's what this channel was supposed to be about. That's why I named the channel the Shumake Way. But like I said, the more I fell in love with God, the more I read my Bible, the more I realized that the message that I don't want to put out to the world is that you need to do things the Shumake way. You need to do things the God way. And that's what I'm trying my best to do. Do everything the God way. And just going through the transformation I went through in this last year and a half or so since I stopped posting consistently on YouTube. God has done some things in my life that has given me a level of humility that I didn't have before. And I don't want to do anything that presents myself as the authority or the person that knows it all. I'm a person that cares about people. I'm a person that will always share my experience because it'll probably help somebody else avoid the issues that I've went through in my life. And I want to look out for the younger generation. I want to put videos out that if something was to happen to me, my children will have a library of videos that they can look at and say, this is my dad trying to give me wisdom and teach me from his experience and help me avoid the pain that he went through in his life. And this is him trying to point out landmines in the world that he sees. And thanks to YouTube existing, I have all of these lessons that my dad was able to leave for me. That's really what my goals are with YouTube. So to make a long story short, I decided to change my YouTube channel name, something that I wanted to do for a long time, even before I stopped posting on YouTube consistently. I changed the name. It's not that much of a difference. I just changed it to the Shumake Show because, this is my show. I'm gonna show y'all the things that I want to show y'all that I believe will be a blessing to you. And the new direction that I'm going with this channel is gonna be focused on you and not so much of myself. Yeah, I'm gonna be speaking from my own experiences. I'll speak on the things that I have experience with, and I'll speak on the things that I may go and learn or find out that I want to share. Which brings me to another thing. Over the years, I've gotten so many emails and DMs from y'all, and a lot of it would have been good to respond to on video because a lot of people struggle with these issues. But because I was in a space where I wasn't able to really because I was in the space where I had began to pretty much rely on content that comes from me reacting to viral moments that was happening online, I didn't feel like at that time that type of video would do well on my channel. So I chose to either respond to the emails in private, or depending on if I saw it in time or if I felt like I had something good to offer, I just wouldn't respond to it. So I have a lot of emails where people gave me permission to speak on it on video. And I decided that I'm gonna take you guys' stories, you guys' emails, and the problems that you guys have shared with me, and just for the sake of wanting to be a person that is helpful, a person that operates in love and compassion and empathy for others, I want to start making content that speaks directly to the human problems that we all have, that a lot of us share in common. Everybody goes through problems in their relationship. Everybody has problems with their walk with God. Everybody has problems where they don't necessarily feel that they're loving themselves well, or operating in the gifting that God gave them. People got all kind of problems. And I look at my channel, the audience that I built as a community. I love when I used to be on live or when I would premiere a video, how I would see y'all interacting with each other. And I encourage that. I used to always try to find some type of way to create a platform where we could just, even if I wasn't uploading videos, I wanted to be able to create something where we can just talk to each other online, like a Facebook group or something like that. But I just never could get it off the ground, and I just never felt like I could really build it up to what I wanted it to be. But since I've been gone, YouTube has created the community tab, and now subscribers can post on my channel, and we can keep conversation going and stuff like that now. And that's something that I'm glad to see. But like I said, also I just want to put the focus not on myself on this channel, but I want to put the focus on the community, that I've been blessed to build on this platform, and also the community that I've been a part of since I was born. You know what I'm saying? People that, are like-minded, and people that are struggling and want to be a part of something are all welcome. I don't care where you come from, who you are, where you been, what color you are, what age you are. I just want to build a channel that is here for people that are hurting, that are struggling, people that are happy and want to share, God's children of all walks and all likenesses. So I got some videos that I'm already working on. I got one that's already complete. I just haven't released it yet because I wanted to update y'all on what's going on with me, and also what's getting ready to go down with the channel before I just started uploading. I felt like that'd be real weird if I just was silent for so long and then I started consistently putting out videos and then y'all like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like I pretty much filled y'all in on everything that has been on my mind, everything that's been on my heart. And like I said, if you want to share your story with us, you can email me at mystory@theshumakeway.com. That'll be the way to tap in with me. And like I said, I already got a bunch of people's stories that I'm getting ready to share, and I'm still gonna give insight from my point of view on certain things, so y'all still can, you still see that part of my old videos in these new videos that I'm getting ready to do. I'm still gonna share my point of view and my opinion on certain things, and I'm still gonna be biblically based because I am a Christian and my faith has never wavered. I'm still a believer. I still try my best to do everything in a way that pleases God, and I'm gonna continue to do so. And by me being a Christian man, everything I do is seasoned with Christianity. I may not be perfect in all my ways and everything that I do, but I still hold strong to the fact that if I ever do something out of line, if you show me that I did it out of line and it's in the Bible, I will make every effort that I can to make a change, because that's just how serious I am about my walk. But like I said, it's still gonna be, not, my channel is not gonna be let's say it like this, it's not gonna be a Christian channel where I'm doing Bible studies and stuff like that, but it will be me addressing everyday problems in real people's lives from the point of view of a man, me, Michael Shumake, that believes in another man, Jesus Christ. Right? So The only perfect man that ever existed, by the way, Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's where we at, man. I shared some things, I was vulnerable in this video, which is what I wanted to do. I shared, some things that I struggle with. Shared the email where you guys can share your story. Told y'all about the changes being made. Trying to think, is there anything else I'm missing? Oh, big thing. I pretty much deleted all of my videos. I think I got I've created 500 and something videos since 2019. That's when I started this channel. I created 500 and something videos. And like I told y'all, because there's things in some of those old videos, or my heart wasn't in the right place in a lot of those old videos, I went through and I pretty much scrubbed the whole channel from everything that I could find where I felt like it just wasn't a good representation of me anymore. And it's not completely, or maybe I've grown since I put those videos out and I don't necessarily completely agree with them anymore, or something to that effect. Also, there's pretty much this desire in me to just completely wipe everything away and start over from scratch. And, out of those 30 videos or so that I left on the channel, before it's over with, they probably gonna be deleted too. And I'll probably remake the videos that I did. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of people that are struggling with those different issues, which is the reason why I was able to build up the audience to what I built it up to, because I was talking about real life stuff, but I just veered off the path a little bit at some point, and then in the beginning too, I used to cuss. I used to talk in a way that makes me cringe now, and I just wanted to get rid of that stuff. I didn't want it on the channel no more. So yeah, that's everything I wanted to share with y'all about the current state of the Shumake Show, formerly known as the Shumake Way. And also, I created a channel that's a personal channel where I'll talk about me eventually, but I haven't posted a video on there, and I don't really know when I'll be able to, because I've been real busy. I haven't even been able to get a haircut in a few weeks, as you can tell. Beard looking a little wild and scruffy, but again, I just felt like it was important for me to tap in with y'all. I missed y'all, and I still have it on my heart to do something that will help people in the way that I can help. And here we go. Be on the lookout. Within the week, I'm gonna start posting videos, and they will be consistent. There will be no more long pauses anymore. And I pray that y'all continue to rock with me on this new leg of this journey that we getting ready to take off on. With that being said, I will see y'all on the next one. That's it for this video, fam, but we'll be back before you know it. If you got something you want to get off your chest, you can email me at mystory@theshumakeway.com. And you never know, your story could be the story that end up in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all on the next one.